Hey folks, how's it going? This is Seagull here, and well, this is probably going to be a really negative video, and so if you don't like those sorts of videos, then I advise not watching this. Maybe rewatch my video yesterday, which was basically the opposite of negative, being very excited about the knitting stuff pack and looking forward to what's next, and going into the weekend with positive vibes. Oh boy, did that get ruined pretty quickly. Because, well, EA and Maxis did a sneaky thing with their latest game updates that came out in April 2020, so, well, that's earlier this month, but I'm just saying that to future-proof this video a little bit, because I know people watch these videos, like, years after they come out, which I find quite interesting. I guess it's fun to look back on these things sometimes, but I'm rambling. Alright, let's get to the main point here. So, this was brought to my attention by Simotional, as well as Sims Community, who wrote an article about this. So, it says, The Sims 4's main menu is now reminding players that they don't own certain packs. The Sims 4's latest update has fixed a few things and added a slight change to the main menu. I was looking around the main menu to see what the slight changes were, but as a player who has all the Sims 4 content, I didn't notice any small visual and functional improvements to the main menu, as the team stated in the patch notes. Yeah, I remember that. I remember looking through the patch notes and I opened my game and I was like, well, what changed? Other than a little tiny change where the timer on a sale, when there is a sale being advertised on the main menu, looks slightly different than before. It has a square around it, but other than that, I noticed nothing, and I got confused, and I thought, well, okay, I guess I'll just not worry about it. I figured it was just one of those cases where many game companies do this. They release patch notes, and it's sometimes just one line saying something very similar to minor bug fixes and general stability improvements, and is no more specific than that. We're just left to assume that it's simply technical behind-the-scenes stuff that are for the best, but we won't really notice. It sure felt like that to me for a bit, but getting back to the article, it says, turns out the change that they've made were done only for players who don't own certain packs. If you're a player who doesn't have, let's say, My First Pet Stuff pack, you'll probably be getting a pack spotlight prompt screen the moment you load up the main menu. It does not feature anything new in particular, nor does it give you an extra in-game discount or anything. It's just there to remind you that you don't own that pack and that you might be interested in getting it. And well, cue exactly that, as that's what Simotional got when they posted that on their Twitter page. And the article continues by saying, although it's not made clear which packs are being recommended to which players, I'm guessing that these pack spotlights will feature randomly selected packs from the collection of packs that a certain player doesn't own yet. It's also not known how often these pack spotlights will be popping out every time you open up the main menu, but hopefully it's not too often, as this new system already seems a little bit intrusive. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, and it definitely does seem like it is aimed at players who don't own all the packs yet, because then what's the point of having this pack spotlight thing where it says the price tag and everything, and, well, if you already have it, you can't buy it again unless maybe you're gifting it to somebody else who happens to live in the same country as you. Because I'm pretty sure Origin is still restricted like that with gifting. I don't know if it's better than that on the console front, but I don't play The Sims 4 on console, so I don't know. But I do find it interesting, there is that timer there over the Buy Now button, but it still says $9.99. I didn't think My First Pet Stuff was on sale, because that definitely is the normal price. So I am confused about that. Stuff packs don't really go on sale as often as the other pack types, and I guess that makes sense because they're already a lower price than the other packs already, so then you can't really discount them as much as the game packs and expansions. And here's an additional screenshot, this time from SimCookie, and he got Tiny Living stuff as the thing that appeared on his main menu. And just like with the screenshot from Simotional, there is that timer over the Buy Now button, and what I'm pretty sure is the normal price where he lives too. So on one hand, I find this all very odd because we're only just seeing this now, a bit over a week after this patch released. So part of me does think maybe this is just a temporary thing, only for when sales are popping up, and maybe these only just came up too early or something. But on the other hand, I think just the general practice of this is a very, very bad move. Because I get it, EA is a business. Businesses are supposed to make money. That's the point. But there's good ways to promote your business, and then there's bad ways to promote your business. And I think this absolutely falls into the latter. Because if you get too aggressive with your marketing, you might end up doing the opposite of what you intended. You'll drive customers away instead of gaining more. In this specific case, this is targeting people who at least already own the base game, but I think the same thing still applies, where it'll either push people to not buy certain DLC, or just really not change anything at all. Because, I mean, it's not always just that people can't afford packs, they just don't want some of them. And I don't blame them, because we all have different tastes, so we don't always all like the same things. And oh my goodness, I could just not imagine how annoyed I would get if I had all of the packs except my first pet stuff, and having that having that pack shoved down my throat almost every time I open up the game. I still don't know how frequently it is, but yeah, I guess time will tell, but I'm assuming it'll at least be fairly often. It does not help that this is not the first time that they've done something like this. Because I remember with The Sims 3, they had this thing, I think it was around the time Supernatural came out, where they pushed the online store, and they had that in the game, but it felt very intrusive in my opinion as well. And this was not just a temporary thing, it was kept in the game, so you'd constantly have these items tempting you whenever you go into build mode or create a sim, telling you like this is gold frame around the object where you can buy this if you want. It's just like, leave me alone. And thankfully you can have it leave you alone. That's the one thing that I think is not as bad with this Sims 3 in-game store, is that you can disable it if you want. But with this thing in The Sims 4, it does not look like that's the case at all. Though I think there might be a different sort of workaround to this. Instead of being officially in the options menu to disable, maybe just play in offline mode when you open up Origin. And well, if this is appearing on consoles, I'm not sure what to do about that, but at least maybe if the game is not connected to the internet in any way, perhaps then you won't see those pop-ups and then you can avoid them. At least it is just, oh, press the X and then you can close it, but I don't think this is necessary. I think it is kind of cool when you install a new pack for the first time, and then you do have the thing popping up telling you about the features, so that you have a better idea of what you're getting into. Although I guess you should know what you're getting into before you buy it, but still, I think it's just like a cool little thing, though maybe not when you have multiple at once, and it's just like you're going through all the packs, because I see people complaining about that when they reinstall their games, but that's a little bit besides the point. And I would say it's missing the point if the solution is just, oh, press the X button, then don't get so annoyed about it. But I feel this is just not a good move. I think this was a waste of time, because time went into developing this, whether you wanted this to be in your game or not. So I think they could have just spent that time doing something else. I don't know, like, it is not really comparable to doing a big feature like toddlers. So I don't think that this replaces something like Improved Babies or Cars or anything along those lines, but it's just, no. I really wish Maxis and EA would reconsider doing things like this, but I'm pretty sure their minds are not going to be changed about this. And it's really unfortunate, because I'm sure this will continue even with The Sims 5, or even The Sims 6, or The Sims 7 if they get that far. There will always be things like this, where I think they're just going too far with their marketing. I mean, it's my opinion, so maybe you disagree with me on that. But yeah, that's the point of this video. I wanted to get my opinion out there on this. I guess you can call it a feature, but I really think this is a feature that they did not need to waste their time on. It does not really do much to help them at all, really, if anything. I know this doesn't affect the gameplay in a really huge way, But if it's a good game, then the gameplay should really sell it, and that should be a really major selling point without having to do these really aggressive marketing pushes on the players. And the thing is, in my personal opinion, The Sims 4 is not a bad game. I've certainly played far worse games than The Sims 4, but at the same time, yes, absolutely. I agree with what a lot of people are saying, that even after 5 years, the game is lacking. It still could use a lot of things, and there's still some basic things like firefighters that I thought we would have had by now, but we still don't. And it's the year 2020. We still don't have them, though it'd be funny if we did actually get them later this year and people will come back to this video and say, oh, hey, it is 2020 and we do have firefighters, you're wrong! But still, once again, that is besides the point. But what I'm saying is, it's just unnecessary to get this aggressive with your marketing, and I think there's better ways to promote a game than doing this. One really good example that I think was a really great move with marketing The Sims 4 was that roadmap blog that they just put out recently, where they talked about what is supposed to be coming over the next 6 months. They didn't give away everything, but they did say, yes, there is basically one pack of each type that is coming out within the next 6 months, and there's also supposed to be some free updates coming out during the course of this summer, but they're not going to be super huge things, but might be things that you'll still enjoy anyways. So that's good. I like stuff like this. And for example, when you go to thesims.com and you see there's an advertisement for the latest DLC pack, I think that's fine as well, because when you're going to the Sims website, you're seeking information on the game. So there you go. That's their opportunity to advertise to you what the game is all about. But I don't think they need to shove this in our face so much when we're actually playing the game. I guess I don't mind a tiny bit of advertising as long as it's not super intrusive. Like, for example, after you've installed the latest game pack or expansion pack, then there'll be a new animation that appears on the main menu screen that teases you with what you've just installed, what the pack's about. I think that's nice. It gets us a bit more excited to explore that pack's content. But then when it gets much more than that, then I think that's overdoing it. So feel free to let me know in the comment section below if you have been seeing this pop up in your game. And hopefully you have a good rest of your weekend. And be sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with my latest content from The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!